everyone, and welcome to West Coast Thrift Journey. Today, of course, we are going to be doing a thrift with me, but we are also going to be showing you guys how we poured our new countertops for our new home. But first, let me take some time and introduce myself. Hello, my name is Tammy Fletcher, and I love to thrift the Goodwill for really beautiful pieces of bohemian and eclectic style. I really love to find bargains that I can add to my website. You can find my website at www.Westcoastthriftjourney.shop. I really love to take you guys along on all of these really great adventures. I live in the Portland area where we have the best thrift stores in the whole US. I really hope you enjoy this episode. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Without further ado, let's get into the aisles and see what we can find today. The first item that I came across for only $4.99. I know what a great bargain is this beautiful wooden camel. It is in perfect condition, and I cannot wait to add this to my website for you all. Also, I love elephants, and I thought this elephant was very cute. And also, the next item that I found in the wood section is this really beautiful simple vase. The price on it is priced just right at only $2.99. So I'm going to go ahead and add these items to my cart. I highly suggest going through the basket section of any thrift store and finding baskets that you can use for storage or to put your plants in. This is a perfect plant basket for only $1.99, and you just can't beat that price. I am so excited to work with Lagary products and show you guys how we poured our new countertops. But first, I want to show you this beautiful vase that I found at the Goodwill. It is so beautiful. It is sand art, and it is southwestern. It is so gorgeous. I love the mountain scene on it with all of the beautiful trees, and this will look really beautiful with dry flowers in it or also some pampas grass. And I'll be picking that up for only $4.99. Up next, let's check out this beautiful lantern. This lantern is just perfect for the bohemian flair. I love the colors. It has red and blue underneath the center flower motif on this. It's priced at $2.99. Now it does open up so that you can add a candle to it so that it lights up and just looks so beautiful in your home. Now I have spotted one more thing to add to my cart. Now this little guy will be perfect to add to a little nightstand or even in my bathroom or office. So I'm going to pick him up for only $4.99. Now I'm going to go and check out, and we are going to head to my house so that you guys can see what we did to our countertops. When Mel and I decided that we were going to purchase a home out here in Forest Grove, we decided that we were going to use Leggari products for our countertops. Now we're going to show you guys the process of using this DIY friendly product. So let's go ahead and jump into what products we actually purchased. As you scroll through their website, you can choose a lot of different colors to add to your countertops. Now, we decided that we were going to do our whole entire countertop and our backsplash, which is a really great project. It is very DIY friendly, and you don't need a torch in order to be able to get the effects that you would love to see on a beautiful countertop. So we're going to show you guys what the countertops look like before, and then I will show you guys the process and what they look like after. As you can see, these countertops are really old and are just horrible. They're very unlevel. So I did have to go in and putty them and actually sand them down so that they would adhere to become very level. It only took a couple of hours to prep all of the countertops so that we could start this process. So before we went through the process of priming the countertops, we decided that we would paint all of the cabinets. So I had Mel paint those up real quick. And then when we got to the primer, here is the A and the B. There are directions on each bottle. You add them into one bottle, shaking them up, and then you add them onto the countertop in small sections and roll it out. With 3 easy steps, we added part A to part B and also 2 ounces of water, adding a line right down the center of the countertop and rolling it out with a small roller to add the primer to the top of the counter in even strokes, and making sure that we hit all of the edges as well. As you can see, Lagary has made these steps really easy for all of us DIYers to be able to do this process on our own. So we are rolling this out against the wall to ensure that the countertops also back right up to the wall and become thick enough so that the primer and the epoxy adhere correctly. While Mel finishes up priming these countertops, I'm going to show you guys the colors that we chose to add to our epoxy countertops. The first color that we chose is copper. I'm so in love with it, and also moss green. I think they go so well together. Now the countertops have all been primed and they will cure for 1 hour. Lagary highly suggests for you guys to keep your house at a 68-degree temperature while you are going through the epoxy countertop process. Now Mel is taping up and securing all of the edges so she can build a wall so the epoxy will stay on the counter and not drip over the edges. As you can see, adding this tape along all of the edges is a pretty easy process. Now we're going to move on to the next step, mixing the part A white pigmented epoxy. As Mel dumps out each one of the containers, she will use this Home Depot bucket to add them to, and these 2 sticks will hold on to each container, reassuring that we get all of the part A epoxy out of the containers. Be rest assured that all the epoxy will drain out when you tip these bottles into this bucket this way, and you can just tip them back and forth. Now we're going to take some time and look at the paddle that we're going to use for mixing. We picked this up at Home Depot and it fits great to our drill. It does not adhere, the epoxy does not adhere to the plastic tip, and it is easy to clean. Now that those are finished dripping, now you add part B. It is very liquidy, so you can see how easy it comes out of the bottle, and it takes way less time for you to add these 2 together. But as soon as you do, they start mixing together, so you have to start moving quickly now. Now Mel is going to start mixing this all together in a surging motion, going up and down so that she can mix this really well. You have to mix this very thoroughly, about 60 times, so make sure that you follow the directions. Now that is just the first step in mixing. Now you have to pour it out of the bucket, scraping all of the epoxy into the next bucket that is clean. After this, you will mix one more time. It is very important to mix this a second time. It is one of the most important parts of this process. This will reassure that you are mixing it properly. Now you want to take a bucket and add some alcohol to it and clean your paddle. Now into a smaller bucket, we add the metallic epoxy part A. Tipping these bottles and waiting a few minutes to make sure that all of that epoxy is out. Now we are adding the part B. Mel is sure to get everything out of these bottles, and now she's going to start mixing them together. Now this is thoroughly mixed, and Mel is going to mask up for the next part of this process. As she separates the metallic epoxy into separate containers, we will also be mixing in the metallic colors. The first color that she adds to the bucket is copper. As you can see, this is why you need to wear a mask for this process. As you're mixing, the metallics just fly into the air. So please be safe and wear your mask. There is no wrong way when doing a dirty pour, so we decided to separate the epoxy into different buckets before we started. And now we are adding the moss green to the epoxy so that we can mix this color as well. As you can see, these colors are so beautiful and vibrant. And now we're all finished with that paddle, so we're going to clean it one more time. Now, a majority of our countertop is going to be white, and then we are going to add color to that. So we are going to flood the whole top of the countertop, and then we are going to, in a squeegee motion across the top of the countertop, level it all the way across before we add any color. As Mel moves the epoxy around on the countertop, she is making sure that the edge of the counter against the wall is completely saturated, but not getting too close to the edges. This epoxy is self-leveling and is really easy to use. So now I took the time to add all of the colors to the bucket, and I added blue and more green to the bucket with some spray paint. So I went to the Walmart and I picked up some green spray paint and also some blue spray paint. It doesn't really matter what brand, but this is what we chose and the price. So when you do a dirty pour, you want to make sure and just kind of walk along the edge of each one of the counters, pouring so that you are able to get an even pour. This also will reassure that each one of your counters, although they will look different, will be similar in color, and they will look so beautiful. Look at that green just come out. I can't wait for you guys to see the end results. Now you don't want to get too close, and you want to leave some room in between because it will spread out. And be rest assured, when you do a dirty pour, it doesn't really matter how you pour it. There are no ways for you to make a mistake with this product. You can really start to see the difference in these counters and how much they're coming to life and looking so beautiful. When you are going through this part of the process, you want to move quickly pouring your product out of the bucket. You don't want it to sit in your bucket for very long. And please keep in mind when you are pouring not to pour too close to the edge, as you don't want it to pour over the edge of the tape and also add too much to any one area. And to make my counters look even more realistic, I added some veining with some gold special effects Lagari product. This is so beautiful and I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. Just look at how it shimmers here on the edge where my sink will go in. Now that we have layered on all of our color, the next step is to spritz some alcohol on the surface. This will help it lay out just so glass smooth and look so beautiful. So after waiting about a half an hour, now we are going to pull the tape so that the epoxy can start dripping over the edges. When you pull your tape, this is what you should be looking for, is for it to flow over really slowly. Pulling this tape can be very satisfying. Now you can see the epoxy dripping down the edges, and we will start moving that around so that you can see what it looks like on the edges. It is really an easy task to do this. You just have to glove up. Mel is using some of the excess epoxy that is left in the bucket to move around the edges of the counters. Now you can really see the difference in what it looks like as it pulls over the edge. As you can see, it's flowing very slowly and leaving the design on the countertop, but flowing over looking just beautiful. As Mel adds more epoxy to the edges, the epoxy from the top of the counter will continue flowing over the edge, leaving a beautiful design. Now we are so excited to watch this epoxy flow over the edges. It is looking so absolutely gorgeous. Just look at some of the effects this countertop is starting to show. Now that this epoxy has set up very quickly, we are going to move on to running this over the edges, removing anything that is dripping. So like I said before, we also decided to do our backsplash. Surprise! It looks so beautiful and I'm really excited to do this. Now we have to seal the countertops. So we're going to use the part A and the part B along with the grit that you pour inside of it to help it stay stronger and last a lifetime. It is a urethane finish high gloss. So let's get that on the counter. With this product, you want to use a sponge roller and just roll it onto the countertops, securing the glaze onto the counter. The key in using this product is to pour it out in sections. So you can see Mel pouring it into the center of the counter, rolling it out in sections, and then moving on to the next area. This will help your countertop last a lifetime. Now, the best thing about Lagari products is they don't yellow and don't look horrible after a couple of years. I have been watching their videos for quite a while now, and we were really excited to use their products in our new home. With so many colors and products to choose from, be sure to check out Lagary.com and find the products that you could use on your countertop and even your floors. You will be so satisfied with using their products. If you get on their website and order today, you can get up to 10% off of your purchase. So now back to the steps of this countertop. So after this cures overnight, I will take my sander and knock off the edges of this just so very gently, and it will look so beautiful. Then we will add our new sink and we will wait for all of our appliances to come in. And we also will be installing our beautiful new backsplash. And Mel and I would like to thank Lagari Products for sponsoring this video, and we are so happy to work with them, and I can't wait to see what else we can use their products for in the future. As you can see, with a little elbow grease and a little bit of patience, our countertops are turning out just beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see the reveal. While Mel finishes up the top coat, let's go back in time and see what the countertops look like before. I love taking you guys back in time and sharing with you what the before looks like on these countertops. They are so ugly. I could not wait to get rid of them. And then we had a company come out and give us a bid on redoing the countertops, and we would have spent about $10,000 to redo this whole kitchen in new countertop. So we were really happy to use the epoxy products through Lagari, and I can't believe the results. And here it is in 3, 2, 1. I am so happy with these beautiful countertops. Mel and I did the demo on this whole entire house, and this kitchen has turned out so beautiful. I'm so happy that I can share the Lagari products with you guys. If you guys are interested in checking out any of the Lagari products, you can get on their website. I will leave their link below. The colors in my countertops and my backsplash is so beautiful, and I just love the white background. It really brings out so much brightness in my kitchen, and I love how much it matches everything that I have going on in there. As you can see, you can really see all of the beautiful colors. Now we did do the backsplash last and we let it drip just a little bit to add some dimension to the walls. But I really love how the countertops laid out. They are so very smooth and I just absolutely love them. They are so very durable. We have actually cut on top of them, but we do normally use cutting boards and highly suggest using them. But the colors on this countertop is so magnificent. If you guys want to know what colors I used, make sure and leave a comment and I will let you know. Now I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of the countertop, but I would really love to hear from you, so please leave me a comment below. And if you found this video interesting and you wanted to watch it because of the Lagary products, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I normally only do thrifting, but we have been doing some home renovations on a home that we purchased back in December. And I wanted to share the Lagary products on my channel so that I could show everybody what a great way to save money on their own kitchen counters and backsplash. I just want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching my channel today. I really hope you enjoyed this content. Please leave me a comment, like I said, and let me know what you think about this video. And until the next time, have a great evening.